I'm Young Buzz. Welcome back to the channel where we talk all things K-pop, from breaking news to the little moments that make history. And today, we've got something that honestly made me stop scrolling, sit up, and go, wow, they did that. Because Stray Kids, they are officially the most streamed K-pop group in France in 2025. Yup, you heard that right. Billboard France just released its streaming rankings based on Luminate's data, and Stray Kids is sitting right there at number 1, ahead of BTS and BLACKPINK. Let's just pause for a second. Those are the two groups that have dominated for years. And now Stray Kids has taken that top spot. That's not just impressive, that's a major shift in the K-pop landscape. But here's where it gets even more mind-blowing. This isn't just about streams. Stray Kids have been breaking records in France left and right. Remember last month? As part of their Dominate World Tour, they played 2 sold-out shows at Stade de France. That's 120,000 people in 2 days. And yes, that is now officially the largest K-pop concert ever held at that stadium and in France. Largest. Ever. And to really understand how big that is, you've got to know that Stade de France is the biggest stadium in the country. It's where global icons perform, it's where history happens. And now Stray Kids are part of that history. In fact, they're not just part of it, they're rewriting it. No Korean artist has ever pulled those numbers at this venue before, not even once. What I love is that this isn't some random, one-time hype. They've been building this relationship with France for years. In July 2023, they headlined Lollapalooza Paris, playing for 60,000 people. And that's not even counting the countless fans who couldn't get in, but still showed up outside just to hear them from a distance. You don't get that kind of loyalty unless you've really connected with a country's audience. And then there's the charity event earlier this year. In January, they performed at the Yellow Coin Collection, hosted by none other than the French First Lady, Brigitte Macron. That's such a unique stage for a K-pop boy group. Actually, they were the first K-pop boy group ever to perform there. Imagine, going from rocking out on massive world tour stages to representing K-pop at a prestigious charity event with the First Lady watching. That's range. Plus, their music sales in France have been strong for a while. On the French Phonographic Association's top 200 albums of 2023, their 5-star album ranked 52nd, and Rockstar ranked 135th. That's not just charting, it's proving they have staying power in a market that's not easy to break into. And Rockstar was even named the best-selling K-pop album in France for that year. And now, they're on the verge of a comeback. On the 22nd, they're dropping their 4th full-length album, Karma, with the title track Ceremony. And I've got a feeling that with the kind of momentum they have right now, this comeback is going to blow up in France even more. Honestly, the timing couldn't be better. When you're already breaking records and topping streaming charts, dropping new music just adds fuel to the fire. But here's what I want to dig into with you. How did Stray Kids pull this off? Because yes, they have the music, the performances, the visuals, but so do a lot of groups. I think it's their identity that's done it. They've never really tried to fit into a box or please everyone. Their sound is loud, experimental, unapologetic, and that's exactly what sets them apart. France has a big rock, rap, and alternative culture, and Stray Kids style taps into that perfectly. And maybe this is just me, but I feel like their French fan base is one of the most passionate out there. Have you seen the fan cams from those Stade de France shows? The ocean of light sticks, the screaming in perfect Korean lyrics, the energy, it's unreal. It's not just an audience, it's a force. So I want to throw this to you. Do you think France has officially become Stray Kids' strongest international market? Or do you think this is just one chapter in a bigger global takeover? Because if they can do this in France, I wouldn't be surprised if they started setting similar records in other European countries next. And let's talk about that comeback for a second. Karma and Ceremony as a pairing? That already sounds like it's going to be high concept, dramatic, and intense. The kind of thing Stray Kids thrives on. If they debut it live in France later this year, I'm calling it now. It'll be another record-breaking moment. But before we get ahead of ourselves, I have to ask, What's your favorite Stray Kids moment in France so far? Was it Lollapalooza Paris, the Stade de France shows, the charity performance, or even just seeing them top this streaming ranking? I'm so curious to see which one stands out for you. Because here's the thing. When a group like Stray Kids breaks records in one country, it's rarely just about that one country. It's usually a sign that their influence is shifting on a global scale. Think about it. France is one of the biggest music markets in the world. If you dominate there, you're not just gaining numbers, you're gaining credibility in the international music industry. And let's not forget, French media has been giving them more coverage lately too. From mainstream news outlets to entertainment shows, Stray Kids is popping up more and more. That visibility matters. It creates a loop. More coverage means more curiosity means more streams, and more streams bring even more coverage. It's a snowball effect. Another thing I think we need to acknowledge is how well Stray Kids understands their fans. French stays have been loud, literally and figuratively, for years, and Stray Kids gives that energy right back. They're not just showing up for a concert and leaving. They're engaging with the crowd, learning phrases in French, even shouting out specific fans during shows. Those moments build loyalty, and loyalty builds history. Now, here's something interesting. Do you think their style of music is actually what's making them so popular in France? Because France has a strong hip-hop scene, a love for electronic and alternative sounds, and Stray Kids combines all of that in their own way. Songs like God's Menu or Maniac have that kind of bold, in-your-face energy that fits perfectly with the French festival vibe. I mean, no wonder they killed it at Lollapalooza Paris. And let's talk about the visuals for a second. Stray Kids' concepts are cinematic. They feel like mini-movies. And France has a huge appreciation for art and storytelling. So when you're giving them a performance that's more than just choreography, when it's a full experience, they connect with it on a deeper level. But here's where I'm curious. Will they actually top this record again next year? Because with Karma coming out, they're going to have fresh material to promote things. And if the French response is as strong as I think it will be, they could break their own records in 2026. And imagine the headline, Stray Kids break attendance record at Stade de France again. That would cement them as the K-pop group in France for years to come. I also think it's worth pointing out that while BTS and BLACKPINK are still massive globally, the fact that Stray Kids top them in this ranking says something about the changing tastes of fans. It's not about replacing anyone, it's about how the K-pop landscape is expanding. There's more room at the top now, and Stray Kids is proving they belong there. And honestly, I think that's what's going to keep the conversation going. Because people are going to debate this. Some will say it's just because of the tour hype, others will say it's pure talent, others will credit the fandom's dedication, but maybe it's all of those things combined. So, I want you to really think about this. Do you think Stray Kids' success in France could inspire other groups to focus more on Europe? Because a lot of K-pop tours still focus heavily on Asia and the US. But seeing these numbers, I wouldn't be surprised if more companies start booking bigger venues in Europe and putting more effort into connecting with fans there. And here's a fun thought. What if Stray Kids actually filmed a full concert DVD or documentary at Stade de France? Imagine capturing that energy forever, showing the behind the scenes of how they pulled off their biggest shows in France. That's the kind of content that would go viral, not just among stays, but among general K-pop fans too. Also, I can't ignore the fact that this comeback timing is perfect for building even more hype. If Ceremony turns out to be one of those Stray Kids title tracks that just explodes on TikTok and YouTube, it's going to draw in even more casual listeners in France who might not have been paying attention before. And once they see the live performances, yeah, they're staying. I'll end this with one last thought. Stray Kids isn't just having a good year in France. They're building something that feels long-term. And in the world of K-pop, where trends move fast, that's rare. Whether it's through their music, their performances, or just the way they connect with people, they've found a way to make France feel like a second home. So, now it's over to you. Do you think Stray Kids has hit their peak in France? Or is this just the beginning? And if you were planning their next big move in Europe, what would you do to make sure they keep breaking records? I'm ready to read your takes in the comments, and I have a feeling this is going to be a fun debate.